Bhushan, like if you are getting any option to request access or something, just
Let, now
do
see,
that.
see,
So
you
that
are able to get that request action. I mean, like approval, it is asking.
yeah, 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 yeah. Got it, got it, got it.
Okay.
Okay, so today we will see IAM, like Identity Access Management. So the way IAM work is like it will be combination of your ID which you are going to sign in with the Google Cloud plus the service account also. So service account, this is the service account format, and ID will be, let's say, like Arjun at the rate some company name.com plus service account will be my service hyphen account. This is the format actually. So this might change, the first one, and at the rate project dot iam dot g service account, and this will be saved. Plus, what will be the role? Role will be like in which resources you are going to access. So this is they are referring to app engine. This is a developer specific services. And for example, if you are going with compute engine, then there will be specific role related to compute engine. So in here, it will be like a role slash compute engine dot compute admin. So there are different, even in this particular, let's say in one particular service like in compute engine, we might be having different roles. Okay, starting from administration to just for logging access to downloading the logs. So we'll see that one. So what is Cloud AM? It is like you can grant granular access to specific GCP resources and prevent admin access to others. So the best practice is like you will give the least privilege access to to the users or to other team members. So that is the best practice. Otherwise, it will lead to some security issues. So this is like the other one, like another description of the IAM. It is like who refers to the user, like it's me or you or some other team members. Can do what means what that this person can do, like whether he can read, write, or delete, or administrator, or some other. And next is like on which resources, whether it is compute engine, database, or cloud bucket, or storage, or it's like that. So it is like the combination of these things. It's like who the person or the user can do what refers to which permission and on which resources. Okay, so this I told you. Okay, so who will be can refers to your corporate email address or personal email address or the service account also. Okay, so that is who is nothing but the person who is handling this particular resource. And so this is what I refers to. This is only referring to the compute instance role list. So here you can see compute.instance.delete. If you give this particular role to a person, then that that person has the access to delete that compute engine. Similar to that, get, it will be like getting the all the information, and this is like getting all the list of the compute engine. And this is like the person who can modify the machine type of the compute engine. For example, like right now the machine is provisioned with N1 standard, and now you want to modify it. So for that we can do that. And this is like a start and stop. It is more like an admin kind of thing. So basically, like if you see from the top level, there will actually three roles are there: owner, editor, and viewer. So as the name implies, if you have viewer role, then you can have only read-only access to one particular project. So this can we can give from like organization or project level access. So this is like viewer role, and editor is you can deploy application, modify, etc. And owner is like it is like the super user for everything. And there is a separate let's say separate role or separate permissions for the billing administrator, because this comes under mostly under a management kind of thing. So this is like manage billing administrator, add or remove administrator, something like that. So we'll just see the console first.
Arjun, the thing is that billing administrator, add or remove it means like
Add or remove billing administrator. It is like
yes.
the person who is like handling the billing from the organization level.
So he have a
So
authority to edit I mean like remove the editor user's permission and then viewer permission, right?
no, no, he is having a authority to add or remove a billing administrator permission. Permission.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see in lab better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the super user will be owner only. Okay, next it comes to editor, then is the viewer. So if we give, okay, this is just the IAM platform. So here I can give my ID. Okay, so this comes the role. Okay, what are the role I need to access? So see, this is the basic role. Basic is like if I want to edit all resources or owner and viewer. Browser is the new role taking up access to GCP resources. So this is the main. I mean, if you see from the top level, then this is the these three main roles like editor, owner, and viewer. And below that, it is having role for related to specific resources. So if we see our compute engine,
Arjun, now you are login from which user?
no, this is my free trial actually. I have not started quick lab, so just for showing I can do this. While doing lab, then I will switch to uh, quick lab. Okay, so compute engine. Yeah, so this is compute engine. Compute engine, you can see we have these many roles. So first one is admin, like full control of all the compute engine resources, more like an administrator. And this is comes to like various other categories inside the compute engine. Read and use image resources. So uh, this is like a version one. Read all compute engine network resources. Then if you have something related to the load balancer, then we have network specific. We have network admin, network user, network viewer, and this comes to firewall. Even login we have, even for packet monitoring, like small things like packet monitoring we have access. Public admin we have access. So if you have like a small team which is handling the GCP or which is working on any particular environment, we will be giving mostly a compute admin. So no need to give these many little granular micro kind of permissions to them. If you just assign compute admin, then you will be having
Forgot to
all the
ask this
resources.
because
Yeah, tell me.
yeah, yeah. Actually, yeah, some of the teams like in my organization, there is a two, three guys who's handling this part. So we
Okay,
handle
okay.
the
Yeah,
part as well. We handle the network part as well. In this term,
oh,
we have to
yeah, yeah.
use that compute admin, right?
Yeah, yeah. They must be having compute admin. Either they must be having compute admin resources, or if they are like working on all resources, like all resources in a particular project, then they might be having editor role. Because if
Okay,
you give editor role, then you can edit all the resources.
okay,
Okay,
got it.
owner role is very rare. We can't give to anyone, right? I mean, everyone, right? So it is more of a critical. We can do anything. We can manipulate everything. So mostly they might be having editor role, or they might be having compute admin role. And
So the
similar,
difference between that editor and owner is what?
owner is like we can full access to all resources, including building. It will come in owner resources. But in editor, it's only for all the all the resources. Owner is like the super user. I can do anything. But editor is like we can't billing part, it's not related to editor.
Only
Like
So
billing, right?
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
For example, Bhushan,
Uh,
if you are added into the like a owner, then you
uh,
can go to the billing. You can go to you can drop the subscription or any kind of better activity you have full access. You just
okay.
yeah,
okay, yeah, you can stop
yeah.
start
So
just to
yeah, and the project weight also we can do. Like if I need to add any project, add any folder, like
Got it
from
now.
here, yeah, okay, add any folder for those things. It is more like super admin.
Got
And
it.
similarly, for if you check for cloud storage also, yeah. So this is more bucket. So storage admin, the format will be more like the same. So storage admin, we have compute admin, and for object admin, object creator, object viewer. This is for transferring the bucket. Something if you want to transferring user. Then if you want to give only, if you want to give only viewer access to someone, not to edit or something, then we can assign the storage object viewer access to that particular person. So we have IAM specific service of each and every resources in GCP, starting from like everything they have.
okay. So in GCP also for storage we refer the name as a bucket, right? Like in
Yeah,
Azure we refer as a blob, right? Blob storage, blob container.
yeah, blob
So
storage. Yeah.
here,
So
so
GCP, the name
here,
is cloud storage. Like if you compare with AWS, it is like S3 for. Uh, so in AWS is S3. So here it is cloud storage. Okay. So what we refer in S3 in AWS, in Google Cloud it is cloud storage. So that is the word we are using here. And we refer like cloud storage as bucket also. And other one of the other properties, like this need to have a unique name. Like if you're creating a bucket, then that bucket needs to have a unique name. You can't give like the name which is created by someone earlier. Like right now, if we try to give uh, a development or production as the name of the bucket, it won't take because it must be already taken by someone.
yeah, yeah. It should be unique and it should
Unique.
be contain the multiple labels, right?
Yeah, yeah. So like if you are checking in the organization wise, then it will be like fine, right? Like there will be only one organization. Like if you try to give visual path, it will take. But if you try to give Dave or prod or test, it won't take because it is like a commonly used name, right?
Yeah, yeah. So you have
Yeah.
to give
So
it like
like
a
in
visual path prod dot
yeah,
dev
yeah.
something.
Yeah, and in GCP, like in free trial and all, if you are testing, then try to give the project ID because this would be unique, no, universally. So try to give project ID, so it will take.
Sure, sure.
So Google account type, what are the Google account types we have? So one is the personal, which we are signing it right now, and G Suite, and we have cloud identity. So G Suite is something like your. I can compare with the Outlook 365. What is Outlook 365 for Microsoft? So similar to that, Outlook 365 for Microsoft. We have similar for G Suite for Google Cloud. Okay, so for example, like if you are a startup and you are building everything from the scratch, and you are planning everything in Google Cloud. You have nothing in any other cloud, nothing in on-premise data center. So you will be using everything, every services provided by the Google Cloud, right? So in that case, you will be handling. You will be provided with G Suite to handle all your, I would say. all your things, starting from mails, calendar, or for meeting, they will give Google Meet, and like all other. For instead of OneDrive, they will give Google Drive. So it's like that. So if you open a customer email, right? So instead of Outlook, you will get an interface similar to your Gmail only. So it will open like Google Workspace here, and instead of here, you'll be having like Arjun GCP at the rate your corporate ID.com, and left side you will be having all. It will be like you can schedule a meeting, you can join a meeting, and there will be something like one more option is there where you can instead of Hangouts there is I think something kind of other application where you can interact with other teammates, like similar to MS Teams and Microsoft Teams we have. So similar criteria we have here. So this is I'm talking if entire customer infra is in Google Cloud and he doesn't want to, and he doesn't have anything on on premise or any other cloud or data center. Okay, but when it comes to cloud identity domain, okay, so when it comes to cloud identity domain, it is like a virtual group of Google accounts in the organization. So that why we are using cloud identity domain in GCDS, then we'll see in the upcoming slides. So what is service account in Google Cloud? So service account is the the account. It is belonging to a particular application. It's not related to a particular person. Okay, so if we see here, let's see. See, this is a service account. If we check the format, it will like project ID at the rate developer dot gserviceaccount.com. So we'll see whether we have anything here. Okay, I think in free trial I don't have anything.
So I'll
Okay,
create,
in
will ask for the service account, right? Because yesterday I have just tried to create the instances. So my organization they asked me for the service account. So it might the billing should be the uh, like uh, debited from that particular service account, am I right?
yeah. So in that particular, let's say if you want a service account from the compute engine, okay, so it will be called some project ID at the rate developer dot service account. Like best example will be like if you are creating a compute engine, right? I can, let's see
Yeah.
what we'll have here. Okay, this lab is just okay. I'll just open a new lab, so in that you can see. So like compute engine, we already having a default service account. Okay, using that only, you are able to access your compute engine. So if you're doing that, then like you will be having a default service account for compute engine. For example, default service account for Cloud SQL database, etc. And other one is like what are the types of users we have in Google Cloud? Okay, so one is the Google groups, which is I told you yesterday, right? If you are a Google Cloud customer also, then your ID will be like Arjun GCP at the rate your corporate ID.com, TCS or IBM or Wipro.com. So that is one category. And second one is all authenticated user. So all authenticated user is like special identifier to represent any GCP account. So it is like suppose you have a bucket, you have some images in a bucket, okay, images in a bucket, and you want to give access to uh, this particular bucket to users, okay, for users who are registered with Google account, okay, represent any Google account who are registered with any Google account. So these things, this is for this scenario. Let's say I want to give access to someone. If that person is having an account with related to Gmail or google.com or gmail.com, then he can able to access that bucket. And other thing is like all users is open to all public. So these things we'll see mainly in cloud storage, where we will provide access to that one particular image to the public. If you give all users, then everyone can able to access that particular resource. But instead of all users, if we give all authenticated user, then the person who is having a Google account, then only they can access the bucket. So these are more like certification questions. Like they will provide a scenario like the customer is having a Google Cloud bucket and they have several objects in the Google Cloud storage, and they want to give access to access to all public users. So which type of user you will use? They will give like Google groups, all authenticated user, all services, plus they can also give service account or something to make confusing. And cloud identities, like the business that are not using GCP to manage Google Cloud under company domain or access. So cloud identity, it is more like customer is having a data center, okay, and he just had a subscription in the Google Cloud, okay, and he want to move. Let's say like yesterday someone told me, right? They want to uh, just host only test and production environment in Google Cloud, test and pro like not test, dev and test in Google Cloud, but their production is, they are not moving anything with the production. Okay, they are just moving the test and development of Google Cloud. Okay, so in this scenario, they no need to manage separate identity for on-premise and separate identity for Google Cloud. Okay, what they can do is like they can use this GCDS. Okay, so GCDS, this is the architecture. So it is like Google Cloud Directory. So this is the existing computing environment. So here you can, left side you can imagine as on-premise or something, and the right side is your Google Cloud. So cloud, we have cloud identity here, and GCDS here. This is like Active Directory file system. So if you want to make any changes in Active Directory, then it will automatically get synchronized. So no need to like manage a separate identity from IAM from the Google Cloud perspective. You just need to if you add any user in Active Directory, then automatically it will get synced to the uh, Google Cloud using GCDS. So so primitive role is like applied across entire project. It's more like owner, editor, and reader. So this is what I'm referring to. Is like, for example, if you have a small team like 4 to 5 users in a particular project, so no need to give some micro access to each and every one of them. If we give owner access to one person, and if you give editor all access to all other 2%, then we can easily manage, right? So that is called as a primitive user. But when it comes to predefined user, it is like more granular. You will be giving resource based access. For example, if you have a infra team and a network team, then you will be giving like only the compute dot instance access to the system admins, and network dot admin access to the network admins. And if there is someone working with the storage, then they will be giving only the object viewer access or object editor access, so like that. So example will be like compute dot instance admins only to modify instances. So this is more like as I told, a certification question. Like if you are planning to write a cloud engineer associate certification, then they are focused on these questions. Like I'm mostly on IAM. And custom role is like we can give from our side. Like we for one person we can give compute admin, plus we can give storage admin if that person is handling both. So in that case, we can give combined level permission, which are not role specific. And these are like IAM best practices. You need to use predefined rules like granular kind of rules whenever possible, and restrict who can create and manage service accounts, and have more than one organization administrator, and separate production and development environment into separate project. You should never put your production and development resources in one particular project. Okay, so always make isolation on like based on environment plus based on application and etc. Okay, so this is just an like a organization kind of a chart which I included here. So top level you can see your organization and folder, project, and these are your resources. And one more thing is like how the cloud Google Cloud roles are inherited. Okay, so in the organization level, if I give editor role and someone give viewer role in the project level, then automatically that person will be having editor role, because what has given in the organization level, which is the top of top hierarchy, then only it will get reflected. Okay, so in example, what I'm saying is like in organization level, I give someone compute admin role. Okay, and someone in that has given in the project level, you say, okay, best example will be storage.admin. So he can do all operations. Okay, and in project level, someone has gave like storage.object.viewer. So in this role, what is like he can only read what are the contents in the bucket. Okay, so when this scenario, right? When this scenario arises, so automatically what will happen? Like whatever we have given in the parent, uh, like in the parent, that only will get reflected. Okay, so in like working and all, if you're working any project and all, you might face scenario like, okay, you don't have an authorization to create a compute engine. So what you will do? You will go to the IAM and you will give compute admin access to you. Okay, or you can give compute admin access to your teammate. Okay, so you will give provide compute admin access, and if you again go to the compute engine screen, you will be still facing permission issue. So okay, that time what we need to check is like you need to go into the organization level. Okay, organization level you need to check like what access it has been given. Like organization level, if you have given viewer access. Okay, so yeah, in organization level, if you give viewer access, then this viewer access will be reflected in all of the below hierarchy. Even if you give compute admin at the project level, it won't be reflected. Okay, so it is more like a parent-child hierarchy. So whatever you have given in the top level, that only will have priority. Okay, so those things we need to check while doing that. Okay, so this is what the scenario which I have done. Like customer is having an existing data center and he's planning to migrate some application to Google Cloud without decommissioning the on-premise setup. And all authentication must be maintained through Microsoft Active Directory. So in this scenario, what we'll be using or what we can like as a working as a cloud consultant and all, what we should propose to the customer in this particular scenario. So you must taking care of point is like he's planning to migrate to Google Cloud and he don't want to decommission the on-premise setup, and he's already having a Microsoft Active Directory. So in that particular case, this is the solution like GCDS. I told you the Google Cloud Directory sync. So he'll still having a on-premise environment. He can provision a Google Cloud environment and he can host his application. And when it comes to the question here is like how you will handle this authentication, right? So what we can do is we can install a cloud identity and he can so this is like more of application of active synchronization, we can say. Okay, so corporate user, what he will do once he sign in, right? If he sign the corporate user, he will sign into the AD and it will get replicated through this cloud identity, and at the same time we can able to access the application in the Google Cloud itself. Okay, so this is the lab we have. So in lab we have actually two projects. So one project is like we will create a bucket in this particular project, and we'll give viewer role for project B. Okay, so after that we will delete the viewer role in the project B, and we will give only the storage specific access for the project B. So it might look confusing. So if we do the lab, we will get a clear idea.
Arjun, whenever you are try to log into that Google console, that time you are getting that organization level access or what?
Like in my free trial or in quick lab.
Yes, free trial I was.
See, if you're signing in free trial also, I don't think you can set up any organization. So if I check here, see there is no
No,
organization.
yes,
Why?
yes.
Because like to make an organization, right? You need to be registered with a domain.
Okay, that now
Okay.
you can skip. Now you can skip
Yeah,
that
yeah,
one. So there
yeah,
is any separate console is there for that organization user,
No, no, there is
organization
no
level
separate
user.
console. No, console level will be like this only. But mostly, like if you are working on in a customer scenario or working on in an environment production or something, uh, there will not be you will not be given any organization admin access, but you can able to see which resources are having organization admin.
Someone
So
will be there, right,
mostly,
for that
yeah,
organization.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Someone.
Someone will be there. Yeah, yeah, someone.
So who is the person that one? I mean, like that person is having all the accesses, right? Like super
Yeah,
user.
yeah, yeah. Owner access will be having that person will be having owner, yeah, owner access. But you will be able to add and delete permission as I said in here, right? Like in this
Hmm.
particular project, if you're trying to create a compute engine and you are getting an error like you don't have permission for creating a compute engine, so what you
Okay.
will do, you will go and add the compute admin access to your account.
Okay.
You will just see
If
this
possible, we
lab.
can take that lab also. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So the password is same for both labs. This is our lab one. So this is our first project. Go see the IA. Let's go to IAM. Okay, so this is the existing role we have. So we just need to focus on these two roles, okay, the last two. So this is our right current project 778, okay, which is this project, which is here you can see it is having all access. Owner, viewer, editor, BigQuery admin, app engine, like if you have owner access, you will have access for everything. Okay, but just see on the second project, like which is our this one. So our second project is having only viewer role. Okay, so we'll just note it down. So project one is having owner access here, and project two is having viewer access. Okay, so project two is having viewer access, and project one is having uh, owner access. So you just take and distinguish with the let's say the username. You can say 778. So it's 778, and if you go and check there, it will be like 90. It is very slow. So what we are going to do, we are going to create a bucket. Okay. So we are going to create a bucket, and we will see, and we will upload some files. So what we are going to see is like in project one, we are going to uh, create a bucket, plus we will upload some files. Okay, and after that we'll go to the project two, and we'll see whether we can access the bucket or not. Whether we can access the bucket or not. Okay. Import to cloud storage.
So instead of searching, we can find it on from the topmost left topmost menu, right? There is a pane.
Yeah. For me, the console is showing slow, so that's why we searched here.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we'll create a bucket. Give some name. Continue. Okay, give some name. Yes. Okay, bucket name is already taken. Come, come, give some
You can give any random number after that. Make
yeah,
it
so we'll give multi-region and we will create a bucket. And after that, we will upload some file. We'll upload this file. So for uploading the file, give here,
Upload.
upload, yeah,
Desktop. You need to go to
yeah,
desktop.
yeah, desktop.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So here you can see. Okay. So bucket is uploaded. Showing. So for name of the bucket will be Visualpath, and the object which we have in our bucket is mysample.txt. Okay. And after that, we need to go and check navigation. So we need to go and check and see whether we can able to see that bucket or not, because this project is having viewer access in that particular. Okay, see, we are able to see that bucket,
Hmm.
and we are seeing we are able to see that object also. Okay, we are able to see that object also. Why? Because this user is having
Owner access.
viewer access. Yeah, viewer access, because project
Okay.
2 is having viewer access in project 1. Okay, but this is not a best practice. Okay, why? Because project 2 can view, project 2 only require cloud storage viewer access, but here we are giving, like viewer access to entire project resources. So that is not a best practice. So what we will do is, like, as per GitLab, we need to delete that viewer access rule. Okay, we need to delete that viewer access, and we need to give, like granular permission here. So what we'll go here, we'll go to IAM. So first we save this username. So we need to edit this also. So we'll go and okay. So we will delete this one. We are just deleting the viewer access of that particular project in here. Okay. So just updating policy. Okay, so that access has been removed. So if we go and check there, if it is reflected correctly, then we should not be able to see this results right now.
Do one step back to the bucket.
Hmm. I guess you need to go to back.
We will take a note.
Go to the bucket.
Sorry?
Go to the
That
bucket. Step back.
Yeah, yeah. My console is over. That's me. Distribution browser. So okay. So it is reflected now. Here it is showing
hmm.
additional permission required to list bucketing project.
Hmm.
Ask a project owner to grant you the viewer permission. So next step, what we can do is like we can give only bucket instead of viewer, instead of
The
project
project
viewer,
level.
which we give yeah, no, instead of project level access, we can give no cloud storage viewer access. Okay, it is more like granular, and then if you check from the security point of view also, it will be good. So add storage permission. So here we can do storage object viewer access. So just go here, add. This is our username. Still, this is our username. Select the role. The role which we want is cloud storage. Cloud storage object viewer admin. Just search it once. Yeah, object viewer. Let me see. But what I have seen is like if you save this also, right? Object viewer, it will take it will take more time to reflect here. So first we'll go to the main console and see. But if you see check here, they are checking through the GS util. So we'll check from the GS util. If you're not coming in the console level, then we can check from the GS util also. Like from the command line itself, we can check. You don't have permission to still it is showing. So we'll just save our bucket name here. Just the bucket name. Okay, so bucket name is Visualpath. So we'll try to check from the command line. So for checking the command line, the command is gsutil. So like yesterday we have used G Cloud Compute, right? So G Cloud Compute is for all the
Compute
compute engine
engine.
and network resources. But it comes to checking the from the like G Cloud to bucket, we will use GS util. So GS util, we are listing the bucket. So what bucket name?
The bucket name we should know, right?
Yeah, bucket name we should know. Bucket name we can get it from here, right? Our first project.
Yeah, but if you are not, if I'm not sure about there is a number of buckets are there, and I'm not sure which
Okay.
bucket is there. So that time, I mean, like that LS will work, right?
Yeah, LS will work. LS will work. Like if you want to list all buckets, then also it will work.
Huh,
So here
huh.
we have an option to filter bucket also, like in based on date. I mean here itself we
Yes.
can see, but for more we can. Okay, this. We'll try to see it coming in the console. See, then we are able to access it.
Do we need to set a project here now? Not required,
No,
right?
no, not at all. Okay, see, right now, like if you're
Hmm.
checking from the command line, right, it is listing the bucket.
Yes.
Why? Because we have given the bucket level permission, storage, cloud storage permission, and the project level access. So, but if you see in the console, then I was not able to see last time when I did the lab. So this is like more of a good lab, what I will say. Like in real time, also we won't be working with only one single particular project, right? You'll be working on multiple projects on multiple environment. So this is kind of a good practice. Like one project we have, owner access. One is the owner, and second other project is are all the access, viewer access. Then next step is you need to do is you need to delete this viewer access and then see whether it is getting reflected there or not. And after that, assign cloud storage viewer access. See, still it is showing insufficient permission, but in command line it is reflecting. So in QuickLab also they have asked us to check with the command line only. I don't know why. So this is a good lab, I can say. So I'll ping you this. You can go through it.
Yeah, after this, it will go better. Arjun, can you just put your that page notepad in that our
Yeah,
classroom?
yeah, this one also you want, right? Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. Okay.
No, I'm not talking this one, not that you have one notepad, right? There is a lab links are there.
Okay, okay. This is not bad. It's more like PPT for Google Slide. So I will share this one right now. If you give some request access, I mean
Yeah,
last time
not
I
all
shared here.
notepad
I
is
don't
there
know.
for you, right? For all, I mean, like compute node, that all labs
Yeah,
are
yeah.
you
Because
put.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
This one I am just still updating. So that's why I'm not sharing.
Okay.
I'm still updating.
Yeah, yeah. This one I'm asking.
Yeah. Okay.
Better
This
you
one you
can
want?
put this. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Sure. Okay. So I will share this plus this one also I will share. Not require this one, right? You
Yeah,
can
not required.
get this thing from. Okay.
Push
So just
this.
practice this lab. Yeah.
Yeah. So Arjun, so once I upload anything like any artifact or any images into the bucket, so we can get a URL for this, right? For wget.
Yeah. 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 You are also we can get.
Okay, can you just go which is the from where
there is an option. One second.
One second.
Yeah, you need to give in the object level. So there is an option. So right now the bucket is no, not public. So if you are giving public access, okay, so then only I think we can get that a single signed URL, right? Like in similar to what you're talking in AWS, right? Like in bucket, if you give, if you
No, I tried
give
also.
configuration. So here the public access is, public access is also right. That's what we are getting. To make it, I think we need to, first make it a public, and after that only you need to give the URL. So if we give URL to the other user, I think that the lifetime of the URL will be like a few hours, and after that you get destroyed. So I will check on that. Anyway, we'll go through the when you go through the cloud storage bucket, we'll see all those things. Okay, so right now
Okay.
not anything, so
Okay.
we'll do that.
Yeah, one more thing, Arjun, just want, I mean, like, my suggestion is there if you guys are okay. So tomorrow, what we can do, we can use our free trial account and you just create one bucket and we can give the access to my Gmail account or else Dheeraj account. Can we do that for tomorrow? I mean, like, we can try to make like compute create, you just give the access like compute admin object and then owner object. Can we
Yeah,
do
you
it
mean
by
from
tomorrow?
yeah that activity we can do. The thing is like from my side, I cannot create a free trial. Okay, the
I am
only
having
problem
that
is
one. Even
yeah
Dheeraj
yeah
also
yeah yeah
having the
yeah
free trial account.
yeah
So better it will
Okay, so we
be
can play
more
with the
clear.
YouTube account. Yeah. So
Yes,
from that
yes,
we can do like from your account, we can give Dheeraj email ID, and we can do it.
yeah,
And we can add also what we can do. We can try this lab in your account.
yeah. Better. It will.
Okay, so that will
It
be
will be
better. We
more
can try
clear.
this lab in your account. Yeah, so it will be like more real time kind of feel you'll get while working.
Yes,
We'll
yes,
upload a bucket and we'll see this, so that will be good.
yeah.
So we can
Is
see
it okay,
achieve
Dheeraj?
that.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah. That's a
Fine.
good idea, man.
Hmm.
yeah. So I have pinged that lab. So tomorrow we can no do that. You
Yeah,
can
fine.
Yeah.
practice this lab in that your free trial account, and so we can do some other operations. So like we can create multiple projects, and
Hmm.
we can give instead of after this bucket we can give compute admin access also to create the reg to in Bhushan account and vice versa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
One more thing, Arjun.
Bye.
Actually,
yeah,
yeah, we will plan to just give that certification. So we need to prepare as in that particular way. So Bhushan and me also planning to after we just complete this course syllabus, right? We're just planning to just complete the certification. Right? What is the first level certification?
you mean the past percentage you're asking?
No, regarding the certification, okay, Google
Okay,
certification. So
yeah,
we
yeah,
are planning to do it. Okay, so what is the entry level? What is the first certification that
okay,
Associate cloud
certification,
engineer.
yeah.
Associate cloud
And
engineer.
yeah, so recently they have introduced Google Cloud. What is that? Google Cloud certified digital leader. So this is more like I can say AWS cloud practitioner, like entry level. This is more like entry level. Okay, so there they will be asking. I mean, when I attended this on last Last month I attended this one, but I feel like it is a bit tough because all the questions are scenario based. All the questions are scenario based. Okay, and next thing is what you were telling, like associate cloud engineer. So Google Cloud associate cloud engineer. So this is more like what is the first level in AWS? AWS architect, right?
Associate.
AWS, yeah, associate architect. Okay, so yeah, so that is like what you're telling. And third one is Google Cloud professional. Okay, so this is like your AWS professional only. Okay, so I suggest you guys to go for the this one, associate cloud engineer, because this Google Cloud digital leader is right now taken by like almost everyone, like from managers to freshers to everyone. So associate cloud engineer is more like hands-on, you can say. So you need to be aware, what is IAM, and as I told you earlier, right, they will give various G Cloud commands. What are the G Cloud commands we are having, and plus they will ask you more on compute engine, like what kind of compute engine, what kind of sizes we'll be using, and it is like you need to aware of most of the services in Google Cloud, compute engine, then networking part, then cloud storage they will ask mainly, and from big data side they will ask BigQuery, not on like on a deep level, but you need to have basic understanding. But AWS, I mean, the Google Cloud Professional is what I feel like it's more of it's not that difficult when I compare to Associate Cloud Engineer. The thing is, like in Google Cloud Professional, they will give 5 scenarios which are already there in the Google Cloud blogs or Google Cloud website, plus the usual technical questions. Okay, so the scenarios will be something like it is given in the Google Cloud blog. It is like let's say there is one customer who is going to migrate to cloud, and he is having these many machines. So what are the possible solution you will give from the cloud consultant point of view? So similar to that, there are 4 to 5 scenarios where one customer is migrating to cloud, and another customer is already having his workload in cloud, and the third customer is just want to test the capability of Google Cloud. So like 50% of the question you can get before the exam, I can say, like if you're aware with the scenario. And technical question is, that's what you need to prepare.
Okay. Okay.
So this one, I will ask you to go with this one. There is a PDF available from an author. I think you don't need to go through entire PDF, but there are some practice questions there. You can clear it.
Okay. And what is the pricing of this?
Uh, this one is $120, and Google Cloud Professional is 200. But I think if if you're registering with your company account, right? Then I think you will get some few dollars off. That's what I have heard. Because in $120, what I have paid is like I have paid some $95 or something, and even for GCP professional, I have paid some 180 or something like that. So it depends.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
चलो
Okay.
bye.
Then we'll meet tomorrow. Okay. We'll meet tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.